Hi everyone, this is Penny once again, and today I am fortunate to be talking to a friend who's been my friend for the past couple of years, more than a decade ago. She was my fitness coach when we were at the International Coaches Academy, ICA, and we were both studying coaching. We know how long ago that was. That was 2009, I think. So it's really more than a decade ago, and she was my fitness coach. And we'll talk about fitness in a bit. Introducing to you Colette. Colette, can you introduce yourself as well, please?
Hi, Penny. Yes, I'm Colette, and thank you for doing this, Penny. It's amazing what you're doing. Um, yes, I was your fitness coach, and when we were studying life coaching, and since I'm actually a perpetual student, to be honest, and I'm still studying, um, I kind of gone through several courses in coaching, including integrative nutrition, feng shui. And at the moment, I'm going through certification for a class called NIRVANA. It's kind of a combination between yoga, Pilates, um, and cued breathing. It's a specific breathing technique which retrains the body to breathe properly. It's really amazing, and it's done to really beautiful music. It's choreographed to music. So yeah, and I think it's really timely that that should come in now into play, because once I'm certified, I'm going to take it online so that I can do it, on Skype and just teach people basically how to breathe. In fact, before we finish our call, I'll do a little bit of an exercise with you for a breathing technique,
Mm-hmm.
which can help de-stress in the current times, anytime throughout the day. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm also working on a project with someone from superconscioussuccess.com. And that's a platform of light workers, and it's a high vibrational platform full of blogs, interviews, and courses. So I'm working on doing courses online with this lady. She's in Australia. So that's keeping me busy at the moment.
Oh, I like what you said. We will do some breathing exercises.
Yes.
I asked you if we could delay this. We could move our conversation by 1.5 hours
Yeah.
because I wanted to rest because I felt kind of it was creeping in, the being overwhelmed with what's happening, and income isn't coming in, and what will it be after COVID? You know, how will
Yeah.
life be? What will I do? Those things are creeping in, and you're right. Lunchtime, I had a bottle of wine and chips, so I was eating away. So we were talking about it, that many people say that this time we were all so sexy before COVID, and after COVID we are all gaining weight. So how do you keep fit? I know you do those kinds of exercise, but for us who may never have done yoga, may never have done Pilates, what is your recommendation?
For this specific time, actually, yeah, I'm hearing a lot as well about people gaining weight, and I think it's the availability of, they're in their homes for the whole day, and so it can be overwhelming. And the fact that the food is, your kitchen's open all the time and food is available, so why not? So there's a few techniques you can do, and also in terms of keeping fit, there's just so much on YouTube at the moment. You have to just choose what fits you. You cannot go from just being not doing anything in the day before COVID to now being an athlete. Yeah, some may actually start a life transformation, but not everybody's going to do that. So you have to start from where you're at, and it can just be simple little things like adding some deep breathing, adding maybe some meditation. And people want to fill every moment of this with opportunities, and whilst that's great, that's a really good idea to get to do the things that you have put off or what, but there's a lot of people setting themselves up with huge challenges because they think they have to, because YouTube's full of people telling them that now you have to do everything you've always wanted. And that in itself, apart from COVID-19, can be overwhelming. So getting back to the constant craving or going to the kitchen. So there's just a couple of techniques that I would recommend. And in fact, you know, you don't have to be at home all day for you to apply this technique. It is just, if the moment that you want to, between meals, the moment that you want to say, oh, okay, what shall I have? Go to the fridge, and you open the fridge or the food cupboard. And you know that no matter what you have in that moment is not going to completely satisfy what actually you need. So the question I would like you to ask is, let's say you feel like having a cookie or a cracker or some cheese or some peanuts or something like that. Before you actually go near the kitchen, stop, take a moment, or even just get up and go to another room. And just sit for a moment and close your eyes and say, okay, so what is it that I need? You know, first of all, am I hungry? Am I physically hungry? And you listen for a while, and if it's, oh, well, no, actually, because I had lunch maybe an hour ago, how could I be hungry? Mm-hmm. So the physical hunger is not there. So, okay, so what is it that I need? What do I need? Am I hunger for food? Is my hunger for food, or is my hunger for something else, emotional? So, and that's a big question for a lot of people. And, you know, that vision of what they were just about to eat is kind of still there. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not going to, yeah. So what they're probably going to try to justify, well, I know, but it's only a cracker and cheese. It's only a handful of peanuts, you know, and they're edging their way to it. But if you can, in that moment, engage with the breath, you may not be able to rationalize not going there. And you want to override that feeling of, yeah, I know I shouldn't, but I want to anyway. Just bring your attention to the breath. And you don't have to do yoga every day. You don't have to be meditating every day in order to connect with your breath. If you don't breathe, you die.
Exactly.
So a lot of times, you know, the breathing is up here in the upper chest. Mm-hmm. And that's an overwhelming breath. That's a stress-related breath. That's anxiety. That's here. So what you need to do is bring your attention down to a deep belly breath. And if you don't know what a belly breath is, you just put your hand on your belly. And then you put your other hand, you can do it right now. You can put your other hand around about your rib cage. So just where the bottom of the rib cage is. Mm-hmm. And then you fill up the belly. So you imagine sort of pouring from a jug of water into a bucket. The water goes in from the bottom up to the top. So just imagine that with the air that we breathe. So you're breathing and you're filling up from the belly up. And the last thing that should raise is the chest. So you do that a few times, and then you can even count it. Breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out. And then you lengthen the breath in, and then you lengthen the breath out. And that's kind of you can do that standing as well, which is a real grounding exercise. So you've got your feet firmly on the floor, and you kind of rooted into the ground, like the tree stand. So you can do that either sitting, lying down, or standing. But the whole idea is that you distract from what you were going to do in the kitchen for that moment, and just connect with the breath. It just brings your attention to the breath. If after that exercise, you still want to go and have the cheese, the cracker, or whatever it is that you want, and if you do feel hungry, then go and have it. But the idea is that you're just bringing consciousness to the body instead of working from the mind. And the mind wants the cheese crackers, the mind wants the peanuts, the mind wants the chocolate. And in the end, if you are fighting with yourself to get that, then chances are that actually, if you're craving something like salty or sweet, if you're craving salty, oftentimes it means that there's something deficient in the food that you're eating. For example, if you're craving salt, it could mean that you're deficient in iodine, you're deficient in some minerals. So see where that you can upgrade what you are eating when it comes to eating your food, eating your meals. So just becoming aware of the connection between mind and body will guide you further away from the kitchen and more into your body. Sorry, that was a long-winded way of telling you to basically connect with the breath.
Yes, I know the connecting with the breath is important because it grounds you at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. It brings you back to the moment.
Yes,
yeah.
It brings you back to the moment, and you're not supposed to be thinking of anything. You're supposed to be thinking of the breath.
Yeah, and when you are connected with the breath, it there isn't a way to have something else going on, because when you can't do that at the same time. So if you're fully present with the breath, it takes practice. It's not something you get straight away, because you'll be having a conversation about it. You'll be thinking, oh, I don't get this, and then you'll be hearing things on the outside, and you'll be planning something or visualizing something. So it does take a little bit of practice, but just the more you do it, the better equipped you are to listen to what's happening.
Okay. Breathing is so important. And we do this in meditation. I know we do this in yoga. And if you begin with meditation at the start of the day with meditation, it helps. And in some and in some meditation practice, you count, breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you lengthen it, and so many different kinds of breathing. But as you said, sometimes there are thoughts that enter our mind. Breathe. Oh, I need to get that crackers. I'm still hungry. I need to get that. And so you get distracted when you're breathing. How do you get grounded again on breathing and not think of those ideas that come in?
One of my favorite things to do is move. And not just move country to country, which I've had enough of now, but I'm talking about just moving my body. Right now I'm not sitting on a chair. I'm actually kneeling on a couple of meditation cushions, because it gives me the freedom to move. One of my pet hates is actually sitting down at the table or a desk, using the computer. So I will move my computer around the house. I will move it so that I can stand. But one of my favorite go-tos to get rid of any kind of distraction or get rid of any kind of persistent thoughts or worries or anxiety is movement. And I've kind of over the years become a exercise opportunist, and it doesn't necessarily have to mean planned exercise like going to the gym, which you can't do now anyway, but specifically planning for a scheduled exercise. It just means moving as many times as you possibly can throughout the day. And if you do that, it's different obviously now when people are not out and about as much, and here I don't notice it as much. I still take my dog out 3 times a day, and I'll go for the occasional run, and I have an exercise bike at home. I do my yoga, and so but I'm constantly moving. And when I feel the need to shake something off, or to change my mood, or to alter something that I'm not happy with, it's just a matter of changing the position of my body and moving it. And that's when creative ideas will come. That's when solutions will come, and ideas will show up that you hadn't thought of, the answers to things that you asked and were trying to figure out. And movement can come in any form. dancing, for example, just putting on your favorite music and dancing is amazing. You don't have to be able to dance.
Yeah.
So that's, for me, it's in the words of Greg Braden, movement is medicine, and that's really true. And food is medicine also, and movement is my favorite form of medicine, actually.
Wow. So it's not literally moving, it's also literally moving yourself from New Zealand when we first met. Now you're in Netherlands and a lot of movements, and you're kneeling, and I've been sitting the whole day, and they say that sitting is the new disease.
Sitting is the new smoking.
Sitting is the new smoking. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? It's again, you have to start from where you're at. If it's not something that you're used to doing, getting up all the time and moving, it can be so, little steps. And one of my biggest missions is to help people to take the tiny steps every day to make small changes that over time will create massive transformation. So you have to start from where you're at right now. So for you, maybe, if you're been sitting all the time and that's maybe what you do a lot, then it can be a matter of doing some chair yoga to, stretching or engaging your core muscles. And even for people who are physically not able to exercise for whatever reason, they can still exercise their core muscles. They can still exercise their respiratory muscles by deep breathing, because you're engaging, and with the exercise I'll do at the end, you're going to be engaging your core muscles. So there's always a way. And that's what I mean by being an exercise opportunist. It doesn't mean being a fanatical exerciser, which, I can slip into that very easily. But it just means that you take the opportunity to move whenever you can. And one of my biggest, recommendations is that you do a little movement after each meal. And that can be enormous. First of all, it can really help your digestion. And secondly, it gives you that feeling of not dragging yourself from the sofa to bed, or dragging yourself from the dining table to your desk. Just that little bit of movement. It can be anything. So it's finding your favorite way of moving. Like I said, it can be anything, and the choice is endless now on YouTube. So that would be find your own way of movement, but just do it. Yeah.
Okay, so I will find that on YouTube. I just remember that my Fire Stick, the one that I bought in the US, could do Netflix on TV. On TV, I can do Netflix, and I can do also YouTube. So I haven't realized that the YouTube, I can do a lot. I can search for a lot of exercises in YouTube, and it's not it can be done. Yes.
It can, and it doesn't have to be long either. I mean, from work up from nothing to 5 minutes, and then just add 5 minutes, another 5 minutes the following week. So it's like I said, it doesn't have to be. I remember when I started running, I started running 33 years ago. But I kind of did it the wrong way. I went from running from nothing to 2 hours a day. And, I've figured out over the years all the ways not to do things. So my search, I guess, has gone around the globe in fitness, in nutrition, finding out what works and what doesn't work. And I've experimented with all of them and eventually come back to what actually fits me as a person. So, I don't advise going from nothing to 200 kilometers.
Yeah.
I just, baby steps. And that's the way that will last the longest.
Okay. I baby steps. It's
Yeah.
transitioning overnight.
Exactly. And it's the same with your food. You know, if you're used to, I don't know, having pizza every couple of nights, or having takeaways or whatever, and, you know, or not cooking nutritiously, I would just say start with just adding in the good stuff, not taking things away, but just adding in the good stuff. So whatever you would cook normally, if it's theoretically unhealthy, just start adding, you know, add more
Healthy stuff.
vegetables,
Yeah.
add
Yeah.
more salads, and sooner or later the balance will be shifted. And the more that you have nutritionally, the more satisfied nutritionally you are in your body, the less your body will be asking for filling up with other things. So it's just shifting a balance gradually, not cold turkey, not straight away. I really believe in such small increments of change that you don't actually notice it at the time.
And do you think that can be done now that we're in lockdown? We're in lockdown. I can't. No, I can't walk the dog. My children does the walking the dog. And for many people, there, my daughter was saying, I ordered cookies, and the delivery man couldn't even come in front of the door. She had to go out at the end of the street because our street is completely locked down. But, okay, so is it something that we can start now? We can do at home, given that this situation we're in worldwide. We're all, many of us are locked in the confines of our home.
You know, one of the smartest things I've heard, and I can't actually remember who said this, but she said, make the best choice of what is available. And it's all in choices. We are making choices in every second of our lives, whether it's lockdown or not. So, you know, you make the best choice of what you have right there, of what your restrictions are. So what can I do? It's not what can't I do, but what can I do in this moment? You can always move. You can, I don't mean move house. I mean, you can always
move
get up
around
and
the
move.
house. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So check what you have in the cupboards. Are you able to go to the supermarket? Are you able to go shop for food? Then just make the choices from what is there. You know, that's, and in every moment, make the best choice you can. So in terms of lockdown, I think everybody is in a different situation. I know here, it's not actually quite as strict as a lot of places in the world. So I still take my dog for a walk 3 times a day, and I still go for the occasional run. I still go to the supermarket. So actually, I personally, I'm pretty good with isolation generally. So I'm a little bit of a recluse. I haven't always been like that, but you know, especially since I returned here from New Zealand, came back to Holland, and I've been through some personal stuff over the past 5 years, actually, since I've been back. So I have been working with that. And as a result, I am quite isolated in a way, through my own choice. And so now I don't actually do that much different to what I've always done. My day doesn't look that much different, to be honest.
Okay, so your day you have not significantly changed your lifestyle because of this. What's happening?
And you know what I was saying before about it being an exercise opportunist. If, for example, my life had to change dramatically, I would probably still find a way. I would find a way to move. I would find a way to eat nutritionally, because that's just in my DNA now.
Yeah.
And it's over the years I've practiced it. Even I was in Australia in 1990, and I know I had a very long journey to get there. So I planned in advance, and I took the opportunities between connecting flights. and security wasn't as heavy as it is right now. So I was able to go out in each airport that I had to wait. I was able to go out a fire escape door and find a stairwell, and I would do my fitness there. I would go up and down the stairs. I would do push-ups, dips, squats.
Wow.
And on the airplane, and I still do this on long trips. I haven't had a long trip since I came back from New Zealand. But I would find a way to do yoga on the plane, much to the annoyance of the air stewardesses. Sorry about that. But I would find a way to just get up and move and stretch and do what I needed to do, and make the best choice possible when it came to food available, either at the airport or on the aircraft, or prepare myself knowing in advance that, well, that's not going to be available, so I'll do this and I'll prepare my own. So it's just, yeah. And
conscious effort on your part.
I think it's a conscious, but it's for me, it's not effort as much as necessary in order to feel the way I want to feel, and like I say, everybody is at their own point, and you start from where you're at. Yeah. And that could be just a tiny little bit of preparation or a tiny change in one item of what they do in a day.
Okay. So you do a lot of fitness, you do a lot of conscious movement and you are conscious of what you put in your body, the food that you eat. I wish I had that kind of discipline. And not many people would have that. I mean, we're starting to build that, because it's, if you want to survive this crisis, they already said exercise and eat healthy to boost your immune system.
Exactly. But here's the thing, that apart from eating healthy and exercising, the immune system is so open to being vulnerable to stress and anxiety. So that in itself is, I would say, the top reason to start getting your breath in order.
Yep.
So, and breathing will automatically take down that overwhelm, the anxiety, the stress related to, finances, what's going on, what's going to happen after this. Bring it back to the breath, and that will trigger the body to allow the parasympathetic nervous system to take over, and it will set the immune system in high boost.
Okay, now that we're talking about the breath, can you share that exercise?
Yes, I will. So, well, actually, there's two exercises. I'm going to tell you the short one first, and the other one is only a minute or so. So the short one is basically it's a distraction, which I would absolutely recommend in those moments that we talked about earlier, when you feel that you want to go to the kitchen and you're not hungry, and you've just had your meal, but you still want to go to the kitchen. So this is it takes 16 seconds to disrupt that thinking pattern. It can be done anywhere. You inhale for the count of 4. You hold your breath for the count of 4. You exhale for the count of 4. And you hold your breath again for the count of 4. So inhale for the count of 4. Hold the breath for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold your breath for 4. And do that just as a temporary disrupt for when you want to, or when you feel overwhelmed, or when you want to go and snack when you're not hungry. So that's the first one.
I know I do that with Calm, the app. So Calm has that exercise. And some days, I have a question though. When you inhale, and the recommendation is close your eyes, inhale. Do you hold for a count of 4 and exhale? Do you exhale with your mouth?
Okay, there's two ways you can do this. And actually, I'm going to do 2 exercises with you after this, if I can. One is going to be with, it's called pursed lips, and this is connected with the Nirvana training that I'm doing. The exhale is through pursed lips, so it's like so.
Yep.
So inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. But in yoga breathing is mostly inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. So, and that is also a really good technique for when you're trying to get your parasympathetic system working, and for your digestion. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose for when you want to, just before you eat, to trigger your body to think, well, I'm relaxed now, I can put my attention on digesting my food. Because if you're eating, if you sit down to eat and you're angry or you're stressed or you're rushed and you don't think about what you're eating, then your body's in stress, so it can't digest. So in order to get your body relaxed, you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose.
Okay.
The technique with the Nirvana is, in fact, one of the ways you can check this is you do inhale through the nose for the count of 4, and you hold your hand here and you purse lips, breathing out, so you feel the breath on your hand for 4. So it's a full exhalation, and that exhalation is coming from the ribs, just so filling up like a balloon in the rib cage. And when you exhale, you're exhaling so deep that you're actually feeling your core muscles activated. So you activate the entire core muscles. So you do inhale for 4, pursed lips, exhale for 4. And then you do that for about maybe 4 or 5 counts. Then the next time you inhale for 4, a deep inhale, and you exhale for 8. Now you'll notice a difference between the pressure of the 4 and the 8. It's just a longer exhalation, so the pressure on the hand is a little bit less. So you do that again for maybe 4 or 5 counts. And the last one is really training your respiratory system, and that is inhale deep for 4 and exhale for 12, for the count of 12. And that is a long one, so you have to regulate so that the pressure on your hand will be a lot less at 12 than it was for 4 and 8. So that's going to really train. So in for a real deep in for 4 and out for 4, in for 4, out for 8, in for 4 and out for 12. So practicing each one about 4 or 5 times. And that will really get your respiratory tract working. Okay.
Inhale for 4, hold for 4.
No, this is a separate exercise.
Okay.
So the exercise with Nirvana for training your respiratory tract is the in for 4, pursed lips, blowing out on your hand for 4. So you do this for about 4 times. Then the next time you train it, you go in for 4 and then you blow out for 8.
Okay.
So that will be, the pressure will be a little bit less. The last one is really going for it, and that's in for 4 and out for 12. So you'll notice the pressure on the hand a little bit more. So that's really training your, and that in itself, that's amazing. So that will bring your oxygen uptake in your body a lot higher than just sitting doing nothing. So that in itself is movement and exercise, but you're exercising your respiratory tract, and it can really boost your immune system.
Okay, I shall do that every day.
Well, there's one last, if I may, there's one last exercise that I would recommend that you do first thing in the morning and last thing at night. And this is actually a breathing technique from Dr. Weil. So you can sit, close your eyes, and you breathe a deep inhale for 4. You hold your breath for the count of 7. And you exhale completely. You can exhale through the mouth for the count of 8. Do the same. In for 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. And breathe out for the count of 8. I can talk you through it now if you want it. So inhale for 4. Hold your breath for 7. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 8. And then you inhale again for 4. So you do this for 4 rounds. So inhale for 4, hold for 7, breathe out for 8. Exhale, and you really deep breathe out. So that's 4 times, no longer, because you might actually feel a little bit lightheaded after the first time you do this. So it will actually, over a period of time, what you will notice by doing this exercise on a daily basis, the things that really upset you, generally, the things that you would generally get really irritated about, no longer have that hold on you. And it's incredible, actually, because it's a gradual process. You get used to doing this every morning and every night, and over time, with practicing this one exercise, you will notice a certain calm, that doesn't mean you don't ever get annoyed, but there's a certain calm about the things that once really upset you.
Yep.
And it's incredible. And I recommend every morning and every night.
Okay, so I now have my meditation and breathing exercise in the morning and at night.
And just getting up from your desk, walking around, coming back.
Okay, thank you for teaching me that. You know, one of the things that have been just last, one of the comments that I've had is, even though I do this, because this is something that people tell me to do, not tell, but it's part of the meditation process, thoughts still come to my mind. You know, I inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm counting, and then I have to think, I didn't do this, I have to finish that. How can you quiet the mind to stop thinking of the thoughts?
Well, you know, the mind will keep thinking. It doesn't matter. It will keep doing that. And the thing is not to fight with it. It's whether you engage with it or not. So it's fine. And you can even compartmentalize them if you want. If you're doing the breathing and trying to do the breath work and bring your focus to the breath, and something comes along, it can be, you can actually say, oh, okay, that's a worry thought. Oh, that's a happy thought. Or that's a concerned thought. You can compartmentalize it if you want, but just acknowledge it, and that this too shall pass. So it comes and then it goes. And then another one will come in its place and let it go. But if you start engaging with it and ending up with a dialogue with it, then that's when the total distraction will happen. So we can't stop thinking, but we can stop engaging with it.
Okay, that I get. Okay, thank you very much. I learned a lot from this conversation. I knew it that I'll learn a lot from you. So,
thank you.
It's so simple, yet it's very powerful.
Yeah, it's simple. I mean, plus the fact, I'm not there yet, by the way. I'm learning every day myself. And the moment that I stop learning, game over. Like I said before, I'm a perpetual student. I'm experimenting every day, and I will keep learning, and I will keep making mistakes. And that's just life. And I haven't, you know, I'm a work in progress. I'm not there yet.
Okay. Yes, we are perpetual learners.
Yes.
Okay. And as you can see, the sun is setting. No more sunlight outside. It's the light over here that's bringing the brightness in my room. So any last words of advice for people who feel overwhelmed? Again, it's the breathing. And how often should we do this?
As often as you want. Really, as often. The last technique I showed you, really do it in the morning and at night. But just, you know, whenever you bring your awareness to your breath, it just puts a pause on everything else. So, you know, and just getting up and moving, just getting up and stretching or walking around, the moment you change the position of your body, it just actually, you know, it's very difficult to sit up straight and with your chin up and feel sad or down. But it's very easy to feel like that when you're when you're compressed and sitting over a desk and chin down. So your body changes the way you feel, and then the way you feel changes your body. So so the moment that you change the position of your body, even your posture and even how you walk will determine how you feel.
Okay.
So get into the position first.
Okay, I like that. That means whenever I use the computer, I should be standing up every now and then. You know,
Every now and again, yes. And also there's some techniques in this. This is my second book.
Your books, yes. What are your books about?
Well, actually, this is the first. The first one was Lighten Up. This is I wrote them both in New Zealand, and the first one was just because I said I would, and it's kind of a lighthearted way to bring health into the normal family, a regular person who just wants to get a bit healthier. So there's just some techniques and little changes that you can make through the day with your family on a budget. And there's some a list of things that like little instructions. And then this one here is based
from surviving to thriving.
From surviving to thriving. Yeah, this one is actually a program. It's a 12-week program, and it's a handheld program to cover every aspect of your health and well-being. And it includes fitness. It includes a workout actually you can do from your home.
Okay.
They're both actually on Amazon, and they're very easy to read. And
we'll check it out. So for those who are listening, you might want to get hold of Colette's books. The first one is entitled?
The first one is called Lighten Up.
Lighten Up, and the second one is from surviving
to thriving,
which is what we're experiencing now. Yeah. And people are asking, after this, what now? And we need to be able to thrive after this if we learn from this COVID experience.
Yeah, that's right. And I think there's just so much speculation on how it's going to be, and there's so much fear. And I actually maybe I'm just sort of excluding myself from it, but I don't engage with it that much. I do what I can do, and it's just do the thing that you're in control of, that you can control, and the rest you have to let it go. The rest you have to surrender. So do what you can. Health starts at home. So there you go.
Okay, health starts at home, and health starts with me.
Absolutely. And health isn't just what you put on your plate.
Yes, it's here as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much, Colette. Thank you for saying yes. And it's nice to catch up with you again. Yeah, I know we've spoken maybe several months back, but it's nice to speak with you again. And from the Netherlands to the Philippines.
I know, it's a small world.
It is a small world.
No, it's lovely to catch up, Penny, and we'll definitely do it again soon, yeah?
Yeah, let's have another call with Barbara this time, three of us. Yeah,
that would be nice. Lovely. Yes, that would be lovely.
Okay, so you take care, stay safe, stay home, but walk the dog 3 times a day, and have your run. Okay.
Thank you, Penny. Stay safe.
Thank you for the breathing exercises. I'll do that tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.